Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the inaugural episode of Inside the Clasher Studio, where we'll be sitting down and talking to pros once every single week to kind of give you guys an insight on their lives. I'm here with the God RF. Nick, how you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah? Ah! No? See, okay, all right. I wanted to try to scare you, man, because you are one of the most unflappable people I've ever seen in the game. Can you talk to me a little bit about just kind of how you keep your calm in general when you're on these big stages?
Yeah, so the way I think I look at it is if I start to panic, that's just gonna hurt me, so there's no reason to panic. So if you just keep calm, relaxed, and just think your moves through, and that's just gonna be your best chance of winning.
Have you ever found yourself in a position where you tried to use this tactic and you were just not able to get your bearings around you? I mean, I remember watching you at the seeding tournament in Tokyo, and your coach trainer Luis went, "We got to play Nick. I mean, we have to play the God RF. He's the dude that stays the calmest under pressure, and you also do really well in head-to-head, like king of the hill sets essentially." So talk to me a little bit about maybe a moment that you might have tried this out and you just couldn't get your bearings around you.
Yeah, so the most nervous I've been is probably first season against Complexity. That was like a pretty big match because it's if you lose, you just go home. If you win, you go to Japan. So that was probably the most nervous I've ever been, but I think I was still able to get a hold of myself and just like not think about the pressure, not think about the cameras, and just play my game and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you did. I'm glad you brought up Tokyo because you and I and your whole squad and my buddy Rich, we all hung out quite a bit. You're one of the nicest, coolest dudes I've ever hung out with. Talk to me about hanging out with your team and your guys' synergy and your camaraderie with one another. I've literally never seen you guys have any drama, and I think that's something that all of us want to know a little bit about.
I think the biggest difference that makes us such a good team compared to the other teams is that we're all family here. Like, we're not teammates, we're not like coworkers. We're all friends, we all know each other, we all like hang out all the time. And that really helps on stage and as we play because we know we have each other's backs and we're not gonna like disappoint each other if we lose. So it's just like a family here and that helps us a lot.
Yeah, how does your family feel about you being a pro? I mean, I know that your parents are pretty supportive. You got a brother. Who's taller out of you and your brother?
I passed my brother this last year.
Oh, did you? How tall are you guys?
I think I'm around 6'1", he's 6 foot about.
Okay, yeah. I know what it's like to be 6 feet. No, I'm 5'11". I can't do it. How's your family? Are they very supportive of you and in your career as an esport athlete, a pro?
Yeah, so when I first told them about CRL, they were kind of like unsure about what it is and if I could do it. But once they came out to LA and saw the combine and they got to meet Luis, they got to meet some Supercell people, they started to like understand it more and they were more supportive of me doing it. And especially now that we went to Japan last year, we went to China this year, they like it a lot and they support me doing it a lot.
It's kind of hard to give your son crap when they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to Tokyo. Yeah, I'm going to China. Yeah, we won. Talk about your life and how it changed from being just a normal dude playing Clash at home in your house on your couch to becoming a pro. And you came from Arizona. You're now in LA a lot of the year. And what's your life like now?
It was a big change because my whole life I was just going to school, doing homework and all of that. And once CRL started, it was like a big opportunity that I saw, and I knew I wanted to do CRL, so I pushed myself to do it. And it was like the best choice of my life, and I'm having the time of my life out here.
So talking about you kind of pushing yourself for CRL, going into to LA, looking at the combine, all those things. I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there watching, a lot of up-and-comers, young dudes, 13, 14, 15, that have the skill, that don't have the age, that still have prep time. What are some notes you'd give them? What is some advice you'd give these guys about how you actually get on the big stage and not only get here, but you're successful, very successful?
I think the biggest thing is just you have to believe in yourself and you know that it's possible to do it. I've done it, everyone in CRL has done it, and that you just need to push yourself, put the work in, and you'll see the success if you put the work in.
Yeah, I mean, your coach, trainer Luis, he's a hilarious guy. He's always pretty laid back, but he gets laser focused when it comes to business. Talk to me about how Luis kind of shapes your guys' team. Again, the camaraderie's there. You guys are always having a good time, even when you're losing. And when you guys lose, most importantly, I don't see you guys walking out of here with your heads down. You guys usually are still smiling on the way out. Yes, there might be business to be done once you get back to the house, but Luis, as a coach, seems to be one of the most inspired out there.
Yeah, Luis, he's the one that brings us all together and the one that brings out the best of each of us. And he'll never let us have our heads down after a game. He'll never have us fighting against each other because he knows that we're all friends and he knows that if we stick together, then we're unbeatable.
I like that. All right, Luis, I'll give you a little bit of love. Speaking of love, how's the dating life on the road being a CRL pro? I know there's always flocks of women waiting outside to talk to you when you leave. Talk to me about dating, man.
So this last year, not in my mind really, just focusing on CRL. I know AC is on the Tinder grind.
Just giving him a shout out right there.
But for me, I'm not worried about that right now, really, and I just want to focus on CRL.
For how long? How long do you think you're going to be one of these guys that everyone looks up to as a CRL pro?
I want to play CRL as long as I can. I really love Clash Royale, and I love competing, and it's a thing that I'm really passionate about, and I want to keep doing it.
Just indefinitely. Do you ever see yourself moving into maybe a coaching position or a team manager or maybe a team owner one day, or do you want to be a strict competitor, not a teacher?
I think as I'm still younger, like in my teens and like early 20s maybe, I want to stay as a competitor. But as I get older, in like older 20s and maybe even like low 30s, I might transition to like a coach or a team owner. But for now, I just want to stay competing.
So, again, a lot of young guys out there looking to, young guys and girls, honestly, I'd love to see some female pros out here at CRL. What are some of the biggest things you learned early on? Some of maybe the mistakes that you had in Season 1 in CRL NA, or maybe against some of the bigger profile players. I mean, you know, we talk about Tokyo World Finals, that 2v2 set that you and AC had. It did not go well for you guys. What are some of those moments, the biggest things you've learned basically from your mistakes?
I think one thing that I've improved as I've continued to compete is to not be intimidated by other players. Like, oh, Surgical got me, he's like the best player of all time. You just need to be like, I'm better than Surgical, I can beat him, I know I can beat him. And you just have to be really confident in yourself, I think.
I love that attitude. Is there anyone that you're actually scared of? Is there anyone that you do get intimidated when they are on that other tower?
Not from other teams, but I know if Lapo was on the other tower, I would be scared to flop it.
When we were in China together hanging out, Lapacati fell asleep with Clash Royale open in his hand, and his fingers were still in the position. What is it about him? Why is he so good?
I think what makes him so good is he loves the game, like loves the game, and he'll play 12 hours a day every day, and he doesn't get bored because he knows he's improving. He knows the work is gonna make him do better in CRL, so he just loves the game, grinds, and he puts the work in, and it shows.
All right, last question here for you. What is the card you hate the most? I hate the Executioner. I don't want it in the game, and now it's even stronger. What is a card you want out of the game or reworked? Are you happy with where we're at?
I'm gonna have to say the Expo. Expo is just so annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Rich and I were talking about this earlier today. Why? What is it about? Is it overpowered, or is it just frustrating?
It's not overpowered, but I think the ability, especially in ladder, just to tie every matchup is just so annoying. They just defensive Expo, Tesla, log cycle, fireball cycle. It's just so annoying to play against.
Are you glad there's no draws at CRL now? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And thank you guys for joining us for the very first episode of Inside the Clasher Studio. We'll be doing this once a week, every week with one of your pros. Who do you guys want to see next? We will see you in just a little bit.